And thanks for logging on to 12news.com, the 12 News YouTube page, and of course the 12 News app. Time for a triple threat with the 12 Sports team. Cameron Cox, Lena Washington, Mr. Dang-Year-Tall Luke Liddon, all joining us on your TV screens here. Guys, let's talk through some topics that everyone's talking about this week. Lena, we'll start with you. The NBA in-season tournament. Real quick, I just can't believe the script in the NBA had the Lakers. It was, of course, right, that they were going to win it.
Should have been the Suns.
Oh, man, rest the guys. Lena, hit or miss on the in-season tournament?
I think it was a hit. Yes, of course, the script is going to script the Lakers, the rich getting richer. I would have loved to see Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers win that $500,000 each, but I would say it's a hit. It drew a lot of attention. Us here in Phoenix were waiting to book our trips to Vegas to follow the Suns there, and it seems like a lot of people had a lot of fun out there with all of the hype, the celebrity, the glitz and glam that comes with Las Vegas. So I think in terms of building excitement and bringing people to another NBA premier event, I would say it's a hit. Luke, you were on your way to Vegas. Would you say it's a hit or a miss, this NBA in season 2?
You nearly had to turn around and come back.
I know. It's funny because I didn't understand really what the in-season tournament meant for a long time. Even when it was ongoing, it was still hard for me to get my bearings and fully understand what this whole tournament meant. But once I fully got on board, I really enjoyed it. The intensity, it really felt like a playoff intensity. You could tell these players, they wanted 500 extra grand in their pocket, and it was high-level basketball, a lot of points being scored. It was fun to watch, and of course, LBJ gets the first ever in-season tournament trophy, but maybe that's the Lakers' only trophy they'll get this season. Maybe.
Luke, I was with you. It was so confusing.
It was.
And I think that's the worst part about that whole thing leading up to it is fans, you just kept hearing, hey, it's the in-season tournament, and no one really knew like what that meant. Oh, cool, this, and that. They got to figure out a way to simplify it a little bit, and I get it's tough when you're trying to work around regular season games. You saw that Friday night when the Kings came to town, and Luke, you were in the building.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, and I get it. There was a concert at Chase Field, a lot of traffic, people couldn't even get to the arena, but the fact that was a last-second game that they just had to tell season ticket holders, hey, go to the game. They're trying to give away tickets at that point. I think you kind of saw the result and kind of figured out that, hey, the scheduling thing, there is an issue with that. As far as excitement goes, I think the games were a lot better. I think at first guys thought it was a joke, including Kevin Durant. But you heard some comments he made after they lost that he was actually buying into the tournament. You could tell he wasn't on board early on, and guys weren't just like, hey, it's great to win money and all that. But I think they saw the excitement. I think the games were better. And that point differential thing that some guys are now starting to complain about, I thought that was great to show, hey, you got to score some points to get in this tournament too as well. I think the NBA just has to build on it. Like, figure out a way to simplify it where you can make it a part of the schedule, maybe put some bye weeks around it so it really doesn't affect certain things. I think they're on to something, and that's something I didn't think about whatsoever coming into the season.
Even Devin Booker was half-court heaving shots to try and get that point differential.
You saw that competition, right? Like, they all talked about it. LeBron, D-Book, and Frank Vogel even said, hey, if there's a competition, our guys are going to play it no matter what it is. So I think they got to that. Just figure out the schedule, and where fans aren't asking a million questions at the beginning of the season when they're trying to watch football.
Well, we know that fans are going to be at State Farm Stadium next Sunday when the 49ers come to town to visit the Cardinals.
Are they?
A homecoming for Brock Purdy, the Gilbert native, Perry High School product. He's been the storyline of the last two, really, NFL seasons. So with Brock Purdy facing off against Kyler Murray, Luke, we'll start with you. Who is going to be the better quarterback in Arizona, the hometown guy or the top money guy?
I think it's going to be the hometown guy. You know, it's kind of unfair to compare, right? These very different situations with Brock Purdy, well ingrained into this system with the 49ers. Murray still trying to get his bearings around himself and learning the offense. We could ramble on and on what Murray's still trying to get adjusted to with this offense. But you look at the stat sheet from the Niners playing the Seahawks on Sunday. Brock Purdy threw for 368 yards and 2 TDs and 1 interception. I don't think Kyler Murray's will be doing that anytime soon. So I got to side with Purdy here, who's still the front runner for MVP, which is crazy to think, right? Going from the very last pick in the draft to possibly being the MVP just a handful of years later. Pretty incredible story, but Purdy, I think, is going to be the better player because of the system and everyone surrounding him. Murray's still trying to get up to speed.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Luke. Cam, what you got?
Listen, I think Kyler Murray's a more talented player. I think throughout his career, Murray has shown that. But as we've talked about here in recent weeks, like, he is still learning. Yeah. All the signs are still there. Like, we just can't ignore that whatsoever. Brock Purdy is just a machine. And I don't think Purdy gets enough credit across the league with fans. Like, everybody's just like, oh, the 49ers are a great team. I encourage you just to sit down and watch a 49ers game. And I know it's tough for folks around this part, but watch the
That's asking a lot.
I know it's asking a lot, Luke, but watch the throws that Purdy makes, the on time, the accuracy, his knowledge of the system. Like when he looks folks in the huddle, guys around him, like they fully believe in him. He's got the command of that entire team, and that is unreal to think about his journey and where he came from. And the last pick in the draft, that this guy who's done it at every level, doing it in the NFL. That's been the most impressive thing to see, and the team rallies around him. I hope people give him his flowers soon enough, because he certainly deserves it, and he's no doubt in my mind the front runner for MVP.
Give him his flowers. He's 2 years in the league, but it probably is going to be a cakewalk for most quarterbacks when you have Deebo Samuel, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and
you still
then
got to
some
deliver
at
the
your
ball,
disposal.
Lena. And he's been perfect at it. He's been unreal at it.
Yeah.
If you put him on the Cardinals roster, I think it'd be a very different story. I
agree.
Completely different scenario, I understand, but I do think
That's a
the
fun
system
debate.
he's in-
That's a fun debate.
The system he's in definitely helps him bolster those numbers up a little bit more. All right, our final topic, we're talking D-backs in the offseason. We know they're fresh off that World Series appearance, but are they doing enough in the offseason? We saw the recent news, Shohei Ohtani signing with the D-backs' biggest rival, eye roll, in the Dodgers. Lena, we'll start with you. Are the D-backs doing enough to keep pace with, I guess, the Dodgers and everyone else this offseason?
Who can keep pace with the Dodgers? First of all, it's the rich getting richer. Of course, I don't think it was a secret after Dave Roberts said that the Dodgers were meeting with Ohtani, that there was a very, very, very good chance that he would land with some of the one of the most prolific sports teams in the world. What the Diamondbacks are doing to compete against a team like that, we'll see when spring training starts and the regular season starts. I think signing Eduardo Rodriguez was a great start. The rotation and a lack of a fourth starter being available, especially down the stretch in the World Series and throughout the postseason, was a gripe that a lot of Diamondbacks fans had. They filled that need, and now this has become somewhat of a destination with the locker room, never mind the weather here. So we'll see what's left to come. Mike Hazen said they're still not done, so a lot of moves still left to be made, and it's going to be a very spicy National League West where the Dodgers are trying to regain control and right the ship. Cam, what do you think of what the Dodgers and the D-backs and the rest of the NL West is trying to do to unseat the reigning NL champs?
See, here's the thing. I'm still so mad that Shohei Ohtani is the Dodger. It's like hard to wrap your head around, Lena. Your line, the rich get richer, is just spot on. But the question of keeping pace, in my eyes, that's no longer a thing. The D-backs already showed they could keep pace and already showed they can go past the Dodgers. What they did in the playoffs this past year was truly incredible to watch. To sweeping the big brother that has pushed you around for the past decade, knocked you here and there, knocked you all around, had people leave the team because you couldn't beat the Dodgers. You're trying to figure out some type of formula. Finally, they did. To me, the Dodgers got to keep pace with the D-backs.
Wow.
Because all this young
Hot
talent
take.
is
That's
starting
a hot take.
They're starting to grow up. Brandon Pfaadt, he was as stone cold as they came in the playoffs.
He's not a Shohei.
He's not a Shohei, but also Shohei's not going to pitch next year. He's only going to hit. So you're paying all that money for just a designated hitter. D-backs are going to add that here soon. Hopefully JD Martinez or Justin Turner. They got young guys that are going to grow up. They got a guy in the outfield who could be the MVP of the league one day. This is a team that, in my eyes, is pace for pace with the Dodgers. And last year they showed they can run past them.
Wow, okay. Interesting take. I think they're doing a good job. I mean, they're doing what they can right now. Like you mentioned, Lena, adding Eduardo Rodriguez and Eugenio Suarez, third baseman. He can hit the ball pretty well. So they're making moves. They're not just sitting still doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's a solid team. They're working from a solid base, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, Cam, quite yet, saying that the Dodgers are keeping pace with the D-backs. It was an amazing run. I think they have built a fantastic foundation to build off of moving forward, but let's see it happen. I'm not saying a World Series appearance, but let's see that success continue on this next season to let us know that there is some longevity with this team and the success, hopefully, that they can have in the seasons to come, which I do think they will, but the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, of course, it worries me a little bit.
Here's the interesting part with that. The D-backs have already shown they can sweep the Dodgers, beat them in the playoffs, and have playoff success. Most of those guys are coming back. This Dodgers all-star team from last year is adding just one more guy. They showed they can collapse in the playoffs. Until we see it from LA, I think it can be.
But that one more guy
Yeah,
is
you
a
say one more
$700
guy.
million guy.
Like it's just any old guy off the street.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Shohei Ohtani.
I agree.
It's the show.
The greatest investment any team could make. The D-backs too as well. I think any team that didn't go after Shohei was a massive mistake because kind of like that Colorado thing, Colorado didn't have the money to pay Deion Sanders. But guess what? They were going to pay him and they were going to go find the money. They found the money. When you have Shohei Ohtani, it's kind of the same thing. You're going to make money, period. And so I thought it was a swing and miss for every team not to go after him. But the D-backs have a really good team. Want to emphasize team. That's how they got to the World Series last year, and that's how I think they can do it again.
Well, it's certainly going to be a competitive stretch, especially to compete for the pennant when you have the Diamondbacks looking to beat up on their big brother even a little bit more and relive the glory that was this 2023 postseason.
$700 million. Like, what would y'all do with $700 million? I might go live on the moon.
A whole lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, you probably could buy the moon.
Oh, wow. You write that down. Buy the moon. Got it. Thanks, Lena.